Hello, Marcelo Burillo from Greater Athens Properties here with you again. Thanks for joining. And today my guest is Tracey Brill, owner and operator of 2B Media Design.
Correct. I have been a professional photographer since 2005, and that has blossomed into a full-time operation but I also do graphic design and marketing, logo branding, also do some admin support and everything that goes along with real estate photography, including the floor plans and the dollhouse and video and drone I've recently added.
Fantastic.
So all of that. I have had a prior boss once that told me I was a good pet to have because I do a lot of different things.
You start learning, yeah.
I also have a freelance editing business as well.
You know, it's sometimes frustrating to me as a realtor when you're doing research for buyer clients, and then you see those awful pictures of the guy, you know, and then you see the guy on the reflection of the mirror, and you go
Or
like,
somebody's grandma
"Oh,
sticking their head around the corner.
And you're listing a nice property, you know, not so much the staging. There's somewhat staging, but I would definitely recommend hire a professional. It's worth it. You know, the presentation is just so much better, the quality, the final product. Now, tell us something about yourself, Tracey. Yourself, what?
Myself
how
as
did
an
you
individual?
get here? Yeah.
I am originally from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But I was going to school in Ohio at Kent State. I have a psychology degree.
Awesome.
And I was going to graduate school in New York, and I had gotten my car broken into 6 times in 6 months, and I was complaining to a friend of mine who lived down here in Georgia, and she said, stop complaining and just move. So I did.
That's great, wow.
And I have loved Georgia and Atlanta and Athens since then. So I'm almost a local.
Years,
yeah.
Yeah, no, because I came from Brazil, 1999. So my adult life has been here. So I'm Athenian. I can claim that. So 6 times in 6 months.
Yes.
Like in New York, in
I was living in Brooklyn.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yes, and every time I went out and to my car, I was usually pretty lucky enough to get a parking spot in front of the building.
Right.
But then the indigent folks kept breaking into my car, and I would find them in my back seat, and I had enough.
Yeah.
After a while. Yeah, graduate school was not worth all of that, but I never went back.
Right. Well, I love the South too, and the warmth and the 4 seasons evenly divided.
I don't love the humidity though. I could do without that. Curly
That'll
hair
be
girls
nice.
can
Hey, I got my curls too. It grow out. So okay, what got you to open your business and go on your own? You mentioned you had a boss before. I've had bosses before.
We've all had bosses, haven't we?
Yeah.
I needed to take more of an active role in my future, and I just got to the point where I felt like I wanted to do more with being my own boss.
Right.
Being an employee just didn't work for me any longer. I wasn't able to advance as I wanted to. I wasn't able to save the kind of money that I wanted to save. And I have things I want to do, and I can't do them being someone else's employee. So it was just that. I learned a lot from every boss I've ever had. Sometimes it was things to do, sometimes it was things not to do.
Yep, very well said. And you just reached that point in your life where you have to choose. Now, the flip side is the risks and the constant pressure that you're, at least on my end, it's like you.
Absolutely.
You're a one. I mean, in my case, a one-man show where you
Yeah.
kind of constantly fighting, and the phone rings and you answer. You know that you do. You feel that pressure as well?
I do, but I also know that I'm doing everything that I can do, and I sleep well at night knowing that I didn't leave anything on the table.
That's priceless.
I am doing my best to increase my skill set to be more and more valuable. It goes along with that, what I said, you know, that my boss had told me I was a good pet to have. So I find that the more skills I have and make me more valuable to a wider set of folks.
Absolutely.
And I have snatched onto a local photographer who I just think the world of, and he has graciously helped me mold myself into a really good photographer.
Right.
So, as a matter of fact, I'm having lunch with him after this to thank him for his generosity. But
Yes. A mentor, right? Somebody who that
yes.
knows more. I have a couple of mentors that I go to when it comes to real estate and questions. One is an old-time manager that hired me a long time ago and always grounds me, and he's old school, no BS type of guy, and he goes line by line on the contract. Sometimes he drives you nuts, but it's necessary.
You got to know the why.
You have to know exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a more where he's done so much, and then he always has a clever way to solve a problem. So we have to have that.
God bless the people who don't keep the secrets to themselves.
Yes.
You know, people that are confident enough in themselves and their business to where they can share the things that help other people advance.
Sure. I mean, it's a community, not a competition. You know, if you approach it that way,
It's both.
Excuse me. What are your greatest challenges, you would say?
The IRS. I hate the quarterly tax remittance. I don't want to think about that 4 times a year. I don't want to have to get all that stuff together 4 times a year.
Right.
And that's
But you have to do, it is.
that's the pimple on
I know.
the earth, right?
Now, what was you have your business? You got what is your goal? 5, 10 years from now, what do you see as you're going to say I've accomplished what I said?
It's a general goal. I want financial freedom. I want to build. I've got 8.5 acres, and in the last few years, I have had to give up my beloved horses in order to secure my future. And so I want that back. I want the financial freedom. I want to build the business to where I can leave a legacy for my son and my grandchildren. And I want to be able to hire someone to do what I'm doing so I can enjoy.
Precisely.
Yeah, I want those horses
Pretty
back.
healthy goal. Yeah. And you will get it. It's just a matter of time where you stay diligent and stay.
I want to do it
building.
before I'm too old to climb up
To
in
enjoy,
the saddle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, working on it.
So we talked about community competition. There's a lot of competition.
There is.
What sets 2B Media Design apart?
How diverse I am.
Your portfolio, you mean like the
yes.
types of services that you can offer?
Yes, the photography, and everything that comes along with that. You've got to have a certain amount of services that you provide to the real estate community to stay competitive, especially with Zillow and their new rules. So floor plans and drone and things like that are an absolute necessity. But also, I can also do the admin support with the MLS. I'm a great editor and a writer. And
Copyright, you mean? Okay. Good
yes,
to know.
I've done freelance editing for a long time. I've edited a couple books that were on the New York Times bestseller list.
Nice.
So I know that I can do that, and that's something that a lot of realtors don't want to be bothered with. The social media, no one likes to do social media, so
It's a necessary evil.
It's a necessary
you have
evil.
to constantly be here, and you have to establish your presence, and
Yes,
you
you
have
do.
to
You have to be
what
out
they call
there.
show up. You have
Yes.
to show up.
Your name has to be recognizable.
Yes.
I also have a marketing company that does Google Ads support for emergency businesses.
Okay.
So that gives me a behind-the-scenes look at advertising as well, and web design, and logos, branding.
The full service, yeah.
The full service, but it can also translate to other companies. It doesn't have to be real estate, but that's
Right.
where my
niche.
photography passion is. I love doing interiors and exteriors as well, but I just love the real estate photography.
Right. Yeah, no, it's an art.
It is.
So,
It's so different.
yeah.
People ask me all the time to do headshots, and while I can do them, that's a completely different animal. I mean, a different camera in my bag, different settings, different lighting, different everything. And it doesn't spark as much joy. Not that I would turn it down.
Right, you know, it's
But
just you
I
have
don't
your,
love
your
it. Yeah.
It's just like an agent that prefers to work with a first-time buyer versus a
Yeah.
seller,
Or
you have
like
your-
a commercial or
a commercial,
a foreclosure.
yeah.
It seems like it's all the
Exactly.
same, but it's
It's not.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
everything has a different approach and
Yeah.
different way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. If we talk about Athens, because this is Park Bench is promoting local businesses,
Right.
encourage people to shop local, be aware of what's happening in the community, getting to know people who live and work and play in the area. So when you think Athens, what do you like most about Athens?
I like the fact that there are so many options that for entertainment, for eating, for living, just like a big city, but it doesn't take you an hour to get from one end to the other. It's the small town feel, but with the big city options.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I love having multiple food options. Oh, I love the food. Athens got great food. They have a lot of energy, you know, because of the kids.
Yes,
You got to
and
deal
it's
with all the
constantly
silliness
renewed,
of kids,
constantly
but
renewed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that, you know, they keep getting younger.
but it's the vibe. They do keep getting younger. It's the vibe and the energy and the color,
Yeah.
you know, in
That's
downtown.
awesome. That's very well said. Yeah. It's the so many options in food, like you said. You know, world-class restaurants right here. Small, you know, and you have the loop. 10, 15 minutes you can get anywhere in Athens from A to B. 15 minutes, 20 tops.
It's like you know, the perimeter in Atlanta. You know, it's sort of set up along that same way, except just on a smaller level. But
Right.
you know, it has a decent downtown area where you can find just a little bit of everything, but it's largely walkable, which is amazing.
It's a plus, yeah.
Yeah. And the cute little communities. Watkinsville is cute.
Yeah.
Winterville is cute.
And it's just like a short drive away,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
change completely the vibe, the surroundings.
Absolutely.
It gets greener, you know, open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, when you're not at work, what do you do for fun? Is there any time left for fun?
Not a whole lot. You know, whenever you start your own business, it's work, and more work. But I think it's also impossible, or not impossible, I don't know why that came out. It's necessary,
Right.
is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
It's necessary to find that time for yourself. And for me,
decompress.
for me, the decompressing is just being quiet with myself, and whether or not that means with a book or sitting in front of the television with the dogs,
Right.
you know, piled on in a fluffy blanket, you know, it's just that.
Sometimes even
lack
just as
of-
like noise, you're not even paying much attention.
Yeah,
you're just
I just
enjoying
need to
the place,
rest
the
my
moment.
brain. Yeah.
Turn you off.
And you turn off.
Perfect. For those who don't know, what is the best way to contact you?
Text, I think, is cannot be overrated. It allows you to get in touch with people right then, but then allows them the freedom to finish their call or finish their email and get back to you whenever. So that's actually the best way.
Or even research what you ask, try to figure out. You may send a text that they don't know right away, so they acknowledge, they will find out, and then text.
Yeah, my
So
website.
primarily text.
And my website has a contact form on it as well that texts me and emails me. So for anyone who wants extra information other than what we've talked about here, the website 2B Media Design, the number 2, the letter B, mediadesign.com, has all of those options, price sheets, contact forms, and samples
Perfect.
of everything, so you can check me out
Yeah.
before I check you out.
Perfect. Well, I think with this we wrap this
All right.
interview. Thank you so much.
Thank
for taking
you
the time.
for reaching out to me about this.
Oh,
it was really
my
nice.
pleasure. The idea is to promote Athens and local businesses, and help people stay tuned. You never know when they're gonna need these type of services. Again, thank you, Marcelo Buril from Greater Athens Properties, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.